Okay, so let's move on to the final topic. Final topic for level A2, Particípios Passados, past participles. And I'm gonna start this topic with a question. I'm going to ask you in English, do you still remember what's a past participle? An example, if I ask you, what's the past participle of the verb for the verb to be? What is the past participle for the verb to see? I would say that probably 90% of my students cannot answer this question when they are English native speakers. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna remind you that in English or in Portuguese or in other languages, we have past participles. And an example, the past participle for the verb to be is been. The past participle for the verb to see is seen. The past participle for the verb to go is gone. Okay, just a few examples. When do you use past participles? You use in English or in Portuguese, you use past participles with different structures. Okay, an example, in English, you use past participles with passive voice. You could say the cat was seen by the man. This is a passive voice, okay? The cat was seen. The woman was seen by the man. So this is another example of past participle. We also use, or in English, you also use past participles with compound structures. I have seen many animals lately. This is a compound structure that also uses past participle. We also have this kind of structures when you're studying, when you're speaking Portuguese. Okay, so past participles. It's something that we teach, as you can see, at the very end of level A2. That's what I'm doing here with you now. I'm just introducing past participles, and I'm telling you and I'm reminding you that in English and in Portuguese we have past participles, okay? But it's on level B1, at least in Portuguese, it's when you will learn which structures we have to use past participles, okay? So what I'm trying to say to you is that today or for this lesson or for the coming lesson, we have a few activities here with past participles, a few guidelines that I want to pass you, but you won't be comfortable with this structure at the very end of level A2, because once again, it's on level B1 that you will learn and then hopefully consolidate those structures like passive voice, compound structures, those structures where we use past participles, okay? So once again, today and for the following lesson, I just want you to get an idea about this and also to learn a few guidelines that I'm going to teach you, okay? But once again, you won't be perfect, you won't be comfortable, not perfect. You won't be not even comfortable with this very shortly, okay? It takes time, okay? So, once again, particípio passado é usado nos tempos verbais compostos e na voz passiva. So the past participle is used with tempos verbais compostos, like compound tenses. So compound tenses, tempos verbais are tenses, e na voz passiva. Voz passiva, as you know, it's the passive voice, okay? This is what I told you before. And this is something that you will learn on level B1. And then I have to tell in Portuguese that o particípio passado é formado a partir do infinitivo. So we get the past participle. When you're dealing with regular past participles, okay, I'm going to repeat. When you're dealing with regular past participles in Portuguese, what you have to do is you have to use the infinitive of the verb, like verbs that end with AR or IR or ER or IR, and then you have to get rid of the final two letters. An example, dançar. Dançar ends with AR, right? So this AR we get rid of this. And to transform the infinitive into the past participle, what we have to do, we get rid of the R and we have to add ado. So from dançar, we will get dançado, and dançado, it's the past participle, so danced. An example, eles tinham dançado na festa. They had danced at the party. This is an example of a compound tense, but that's we teach on level B1, okay? So we can translate this. So eles tinham dançado na festa. The translation is they had danced at the party. But tinham dançado, it's something that you will learn when and how to use this on level B1. So in the meantime, just translate, go with the flow, and don't worry too much, okay? Now let's see. If you're dealing with a verb that ends with er, like vender. Vender ends with er, right? And it's a verb that has a regular past participle. So how do you move? How do you go from the infinitive to the past participle? It's the same logic that we had to apply here. So now we have to get rid of the er, so the final two letters, and this time we have to add ido. So from vender we get vendido, right? Another example, eles tinham vendido todos os ingressos. So once again, tinham vendido, it's a compound tense that you don't know yet. The translation is they had sold all tickets. One example more, partir. So partir, it's the example that we have for regular verbs that end with ir. So partir has a regular past participle. So what we have to do, we move from partir to ido. So it's basically the same ending that we have here. Ido and ido, it's pretty much the same. So this time I have os meus pais tinham partido antes de eu chegar. So my parents had departed before I arrived. Okay? So you have here three examples of verbs, dançar, vender, and partir. These three verbs, they have regular past participles, and now hopefully you already know how to move from a regular, from the infinitive, into a regular past participle, okay? I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I'll see you shortly.